This video will be different. Now, here's something that you guys probably don't know. Well, probably only one person knows already. That I play Roblox. Now, I won't be making videos on the gameplay, though, because this channel is mostly about talking about, different topics, what's going on, or, Funko Pops, usually. But what I'm gonna be talking about, there's a game on Roblox called Criminals versus SWATs. Now, this game is basically kind of like a playable version of if you have played a little game when you were a kid called Cops vs. Robbers. This is kind of like a playable version of it. Because, I'm not trying to say it's a game when you were a kid. This is like an actual thing where what it's actually supposed to kind of be. It's basically like a gun game, so, kind of like Black Ops. Now, there are two teams. You have Criminal, which is the red team, and you have SWAT, which is the black team. Now, the only kind of problem with this is, now, each team will have different weapons. Like, for example, in Criminals, you get the crowbar, while in SWATs, you get the knife. And there's no actual point of these. Like, in the game, people mostly use the guns. Like, you can usually use that if the other opponents from the other team starts getting into your zone, and you can use that. But I don't think that's a good item to use. I'd rather use guns. It's kind of more easier to use, and you get to have more aim on shooting the opponent that you shoot. Now, in the game, I'm actually great, but the only problem with this game is that you have those new players. As I mean new players, I mean like people that are new to Roblox, people that haven't played, gun games or like any games like this, any games like that, basically. And you have people who really haven't played anything like Phantom Forces. And the problem is, some people, well, of course you already know how to use a gun, of course. But the problem is that you have people who don't know how to aim. And because of that, it's affecting the other team because the other team is getting more points, while the other team is just screwed with those players who don't know how to aim. Now, if you don't know how to aim, there's also another item, as I mentioned. Now, if you're in the Criminal team, as I already said, you have the crowbar. If you're in the other team, as in SWAT, you have the knife. You can use that if you're closer to the opponent, as I already repeated that. That's another option to use. But no, everybody else wants to use the gun, of course. But I just had this problem. It's not a big problem for me, but I just had this problem, just now. I've been playing the game, and I've been playing this game for, a while. And this game's fun. But I feel like people who can't aim, or know how to aim, just don't use the gun. Don't use the gun. And the maps, they do change, but I feel like with every single map, the weapons should change. It's always the same ones, So, I feel like the creator should add maybe some new maps, new weapons, and there. And you have the other ones to use instead of the crowbar. You also have vehicles. Now, if you change maps, now if you're in the snow map, you get the bug boogie, which is in both teams. But if you get a different team, like a different map, you basically get the police car, while the Criminal team basically gets a red car. I'm not gonna describe how it looks, though. But yeah, and then you just get different ones. I don't really Remember, but every map, this never changes. You always get the helicopter and the jet. It's in every single map you get. And you know, this is the other problem I have is like there are missiles on the jets, but on the helicopters there's no real point of using it. Though even though it's a good feature, it's not. And I feel like they should add like actual models, not like models that have been used in the past. I don't mean like older models. I mean like just something that you just get from it, and it just looks like this person hasn't made it. Like they should make their own kind of helicopter, and they should add new maps and new weapons, and maybe some new armor, maybe some more hats, maybe more hat option, and yeah. Now, there's also another good game. It's called Phantom Forces, of course. You know, it's gonna be the whole thing for Call of Duty, of course. Now, Phantom Forces is another great game, but with people who don't know how to aim are trash. I don't mean to be mean. I'm just being honest.